Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Makakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there pursuing this truth diligently, coming at you in transit, all right, with another lesson. This is another edition of 7 more essentials for new believers of the truth. And today we're going to be skipping one, all right, because being that I'm in transit, I want to do something that I could reasonably do, all right. And 4, I want to be in a computer. I was originally do this one in front of a computer as well, but I had some places to run, and I said, you know what, this is easy enough to do while we're out and about. So today is on the topic of beards and haircuts. And on top of that, another reason for skipping 4 and going to 5 is because I actually had a instance, an occurrence, all right, that I saw that happened on Apostle Har, the beloved Apostle Har's channel, all right, specifically on one of the videos he recently uploaded. And it seems like now, now is a good time to go into it, as there are people that are asking about it, the beards and the haircut situations, but specifically a haircut. So I moved it over to this chat because I wanted to lay everything out. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to open up this video, and we're going to go into it. Now, the video by the Apostle, go ahead and let it load here, is titled the AI version of Apostle Tahar. Okay, and in it he's talking about how, you can almost kind of see it on the page. Slakia, didn't mean to make it go sideways, but you can almost see it on the page, those guys, what is it? I can't see the name of it. What's the name of their channel? Brother something. I can't see it. All right, but it's the Heckle and Jekyll people again, right? And if you see on the left of the yellow little thumbnail there, they made an AI version of Apostle Tahar, so that's why he titled it as such. But there was a occurrence that happened in the Bible. All right, so in the Bible, Slakia, got the Bible on the mind, which is good. There was an occurrence that happened in the chat, that I thought would be great to bring. Great time to do it, since we're literally just about to talk about beards and haircuts soon. So I kind of jumped one ahead, and it works out perfectly through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. So I guess I'll call him a brother, because he's being brotherly and orderly at the time. So it's by a brother called Ariyah Malak, and he says, Apostle Tahar, is it a sin to have dreadlocks? Now, the first comment was, of course, the Apostle, or he might have been, it's kind of different on the mobile version. It looked like he was the first person that actually responded to it. And, of course, the Apostle Tahar said yes, okay? And I liked it on my other page. You'll get a double like. This is the page that I use for just random stuff. I watch my lessons on this page, but because I have premium on this page. I don't have premium on my Bible account, because if they just ban my account, what's the point of having premium? So I just have it on a separate account where I just watch my lessons and do all my stuff on. So, of course, he asked, Apostle Tahar, is it a sin to have dreadlocks? And the brother Yahweh One said, dreadlocks are Shiva Jatas, worshipping of an idol. ZZZZ Dunk said, Elam, heathen custom. And then, of course, the Apostle said yes. So I wanted to further iterate, all right, give the brother, of course, sometimes, they might have more questions. So I said, you know what, this is a good chance. I'll go ahead and iterate, because sometimes, the yes isn't good enough, right? And it should be good enough, but I wanted them to know why. And so I put here, you can see it's my channel. It says, as the brother Yahweh One said, dreadlocks are really called Shiva Jatas. They come from the Elamites, South Asian Indians. They're the people over there that, call centers, the scammers, right, as they're known, right? It says, here's an overview on what they serve and represent. Now, I looked it up, and this is the an excerpt from the AI overview on what they actually represent over in, Hindu, right, and Hindu customs. It says, in quotes, it says, the practice, and I copied this verbatim. It says, the practice of growing jata is seen as a symbolic covenant between the sadhu and Shiva. Now, Shiva is a false god, that it's that blue individual, with, I think they got, I don't know if they got multiple arms. If they did, they have like 4, but they're blue. All right, they look very androgynous. You can look them up. All right, they're a false god, one of those false gods of Elam. it said, and I said, it's between the sadhu and Shiva, a sign of their spiritual dedication. So not only is it learning the way of the heathen, it's also worshiping of false gods. If you have them, cut them off. And if you're wondering why I edited, I originally said shave them. I didn't want them to, I meant like cut them. I didn't want them to think that you have to go down to the skin, because you can't make baldness upon your head either, as we're going to talk. So I changed the wording. Instead of shave, I said cut, because, some people actually, bald their head, and not really supposed to bald you're not really, you're not supposed to do it at all. You're not supposed to bald your head. So I changed the word shave to cut. Okay, so I said, if you have them, cut them off, repent, and keep learning if the Spirit is on you to. And that's a great question that he asked. That shows that he wants to, do right according to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, he wants to make sure that he's serving the Lord rightly. All right, even if he does have dreadlocks and he was going off with that, he wants to make sure he's doing it the right way. All right, so for that, I'll extend the word of brother. All right, because you're acting brotherly, you're acting orderly at the time, you're asking a good question. Right, so I typed in, I said, Exodus 20:3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. When you go and you do that, let me get Jeremiah 10 and 2 as well, because I dropped that. It says, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Okay, and that's just one of many scriptures, Jeremiah 10 and 2, that talk about not, following after the customs of these heathens. Okay, where we go around them, we're going to be mixed around them, but you're not supposed to learn their ways, worship their gods, and so on and so forth. So, not only are you, learning the way of the heathen, you're learning it double. You're learning the hairstyle of a heathen, and you're learning the false idol worship of these heathens, because those dreadlocks, it was the Africans. Nah, man. No. If you really want to get down to who created the first dreadlock, some dirty ass motherfucker, all right? It might have been before the Elamites, but the Elamites are the ones that popularized it, and they're the ones that popularized it amongst the Rastafari. All right, the Rastafari are dreadlock Rasta, right? Fighting for a Babylon, or whatever how that song goes, right? That's how I mixed up Buffalo Soldier in there as well. But anyway, there's a song like something about Natty Dreadlock. There's every song that you listen to over there. Benjamin's Natty Dreadlock man, drink some wine, smoke some ganja man. That's every song, right? Every song is that. All right. So but you're not supposed to be doing that either. They got that weed. They got that weed smoking from Elam too, with is it bang or bong? All right, and hashish, all right, and all these different customs, all right, they got from there, and that dreadlock came from them because Rastafari is based upon Hinduism. You can look that up. So that's why Jake, all right, are wearing them, is because the Rastaman, Rastafarianism. First of all, that's another false religion as well. So you shouldn't be doing that either. Okay, and they think the dreadlocks are spiritual and tendrils, and that they connect you with the spiritual realm and all this stuff. Bugged out, man. So you shouldn't be doing that either. But really, if you want who created the first dreadlock, someone dirty. Okay, dreadlocks naturally form when dirt, grease, and sweat mix, and they start balling up the hair when it's long. Okay, you should have never let your hair get that long to where it can do that, or never let it get that dirty to where it could do that. Multiple things are wrong with this. Okay, so you shouldn't be doing that. Shouldn't be doing that. Okay, so it's a heathen custom, and like I said, I'm not going to necessarily go out and do a whole lesson on dreadlocks, because you can go ahead and you can go ahead and do that, right? You can go ahead and look up Shiva Jatas, dreadlocks, origin of dreadlocks, and you can go and find those things, man. Okay, I give you all that you have right here. Told you that you're not supposed to do it. That can be your homework if you want to learn more. But today we're going to talk about other haircuts you shouldn't. And really, there's a scripture that I'm going to grab later on in this lesson, Lord willing, Babu Shah, that the Lord wills it be so. That's going to show you shouldn't have dreadlocks at all, because you're not supposed to be having long hair at all. With like a short dreadlock. Look, man, stop it. There's no such thing as a short dreadlock at the end of the day. Yes, there is, but your hair's got to be at least decently long for you to even form a dreadlock in the first place. Right? So, and you might have a hair level that's within, a lawful length, but you still can't dread it. All right, because it goes back to a heathen custom. You're not supposed to be learning the way of the heathen. Not supposed to be learning the way of the heathen. If you argue it, you argue it. All right, at the end of the day, the elect's going to get it, and the rest are not. Okay, so it's just as simple as that. But I wanted to start up with our first scripture. All right, Leviticus. The first main three are in Leviticus, and they tell you not to bald your hair, not to mess with your beard with a bald buzzer. Okay, we'll talk about it all. Let's get the scripture first. It says Leviticus 19 and 27. Now, this is in the law. Leviticus 19, there's a lot of law. All right, all throughout Leviticus, there's a lot of law. Actually, it's really a book of the law. Right? You got things you shouldn't do. Like a lot of the laws in Leviticus. All right, not laying with men, not laying with beasts. All right, relatives that you shouldn't be laying with. Foods that you shouldn't be eating. Not foods, Salakia. Items that you call food that is really unclean. Animals that you shouldn't be eating. If you're not supposed to be eating it, it's not food. Plastic isn't food, right? Because you're not supposed to eat plastic. You're not supposed to eat pork, so pork ain't food, right? So that's just, stumble in speech, but not a heart, as the scriptures say. But it's not food. It's not food. It's unedible. It's supposed to be. All right, just because you can put it in your mouth and chew it, don't make it food. I could eat rubber. All right, doesn't mean it's going to be good for me. So, Leviticus 19:27, it says, "Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shall thou mar the corners of thy beard." Now, that doesn't mean you can't trim your beard. You can take scissors and you can trim your beard, all right, and however length, right? If you want a really long beard, you can have it. If you want a short beard, you can have a short beard. The fact of the matter is that you can't bald it. Okay, and what it means, marring the corner of your beards, that means it really marring the corner of your beard and rounding the corners of your head. This part is really just talking about really what you would consider an edge up now. All right, cutting into your forehead. So you can't use a razor. All right, you can't use a buzzer. Right, the clippers with without a guard. I don't care if you got a 0.5 guard. All right, it's a guard. All right, you can't have that bare metal going up against your beard or your head. All right, and making baldness upon it. You can go to a 0.5 guard, all right? If you're balding or whatever, you want to go down to a 0.5 and it just be prickles, you can do that, all right? There's brothers that, have lost their hair. I'm in the process of it now, going bald. So I still got a little bit, right? Still got enough to hide it, but if I have to keep my hair a little bit longer on top, not long as in long hair, but not buzz, because if I keep it buzzed, you can see it. A regular, they can still consider it like shortish, shaggy, medium hair, maybe, not long. But, to cover it up, you could do like a comb over, right? No, I just kind of keep it messy on the top, and it kind of blends it up. But, and when it goes, I'm going to have to go, with a 1 guard or a 0.5 guard and keep it down, so it's just some pricklies. It ain't bald, all right, just very, very short. All right, bald means bald. That means taking a razor, taking that off, or whether it be a straight razor, right, a Gillette razor, whether it be the clippers, the buzzers, all right, the electric razor that you go all the way down. No, you have to have a guard on it, and you can't disconnect your beard from your hairline. All right, you gotta let that hole grow, all the sideburns down. You can't disconnect it. Again, same thing with the beard. If you want to go to, I wouldn't personally go down to a 0.1. I mean, if you got to do it for a job, technically, it'd be fine because you're not shaving it off. You just keep it very, very short. But, I wouldn't go that short. I mean, if you want to keep a short beard because it gets crazy when it grows out long, that's fine, right? Keep a short, medium, however long length beard you want. You just can't buzz it off completely. You have to, same, if you're going to use a clippers on your beard, you got to have a guard. All right, or you can use scissors, but you can't go down all the way to the base, okay? So you can trim it and try to get it as least prickly as you can to make it look, decently well-groomed, but you can't, be, shaving it bald, right? So hopefully that's understandable. So Leviticus 19 and 27, "Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shall thou mar the corners of thy beard." And at the end of the day, the Lord knows your intention. If you go to a haircut, and I've done it before, that's why I've kind of been cutting my hair at home. Now I'm not going to say I'm thinking about getting a haircut, try to get a regular haircut, but I know I'll probably end up getting edged up because that's just how, I've heard about other brothers that have talked about it. You go there, say, and it's always the same thing, all right? I basically say I don't want, always have a guard on it. I don't want it to be, no bald fades, because in the back I usually get a taper, all right? And I'll be like, I just in the back, go down to the lowest guard, all right? Just use the lowest guard. I don't want it ever bald. I don't want the metal touching against my neck. Just the lowest guard. You can go with the lowest guard you got. Doesn't matter. And you can buzz it down. and, you know, around the ears, and do what you have to do with the lowest guard. You can use the lowest guard wherever you want. I just don't want it unguarded. And you know what they do? They unguard it. I've had several. It's always Jake, man. It's always fucking Jake. All right, they're like, I got you. Cutting into the, hey, man. And then you gotta let them do the other side, or you're gonna look fucking crazy. I mean, it's already done. I'm like, all right, fuck, finish it up, I guess. God damn. Don't do it anywhere else. Just fucking finish the other ear so I don't look like a retard walking around. Shit. You know? It's like, fuck. And I just sit there pissed off. Well, I know they can see it on my face. I done told you not to do that shit, and you done did it because you thought it was bad. I told you not to do it. Alright? I told you not to do it. Alright? So, anyway, you know, and you're sitting there just pissed off. Alright? Because now they're over there even at, and you don't tell them, alright, do the other side. Alright? You don't really, you just sit there and you're like, well, fuck, now, you know, it's already, it's what's done is done now. You know? Shit. It's like, fuck. And then you don't even want to go and get a haircut. Alright? You're like, I'm not going to even get it. I'm going to try to do it. I tried to do it myself. I fucked my shit up, man. I fucked my shit up. I'm going to be for real, man. My shit was looking crazy. So I was like, well, gotta go buzzed. All the way to the lowest guard, man. So, and it's gonna piss you off, man. But shit, you know, what can you do? You know, like, you told them not to do it. They went ahead and did it anyway. So that's all you can do, man. Don't, you know, I always send up a prayer and apologize to the Lord anyway. All right, but it's not like you specifically, oh, I hope he accidentally messes up and gives me an edge up. Oh, ha, ha, would that be a loophole? Ha, ha. No, you're sitting there, you're like, this motherfucker just, I felt it because it's hot. When you have a guard on, you don't feel the blade, you don't feel the buzzer's getting warm. I feel it. I'm like, that shit's warm. I know that's unguarded right now. Look in the mirror, you glance over in the mirror, and you're like, there he is, yep, the fucking edger. Why are you edging my shit up? I done told you several times not to edge my shit up, and here you are, edging it up like I'm some type of idiot that you're not going to listen to. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? So let me get 21 and verse, I skipped past it, 5. So in Leviticus 21:5, it says, they shall not make baldness upon their head. So Leviticus 21:5, they shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. So there you go. All right, that's plain and clear. All right, that you should not be doing those things. Okay, barely in just a moment. Slack you. But yeah, so they shall not make baldness upon their head. That's pretty clear. All right. If I go and look up, well, what is baldness? What is bald? Baldness. What is baldness? Okay. All right. Baldness or alopecia. What is baldness? If I look up baldness, it's going to show you what bald is. Okay. It's going to show you going bald. But baldness, all right, is when there ain't no hair. What does it mean to be bald? Okay, bald. That's bald. This is bald. Okay, there ain't no hair. You see it? Bald. 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 It ain't prickly. It ain't prickly. It's bald. There ain't no hair there at all. As a matter of fact, let me go and get Blue Letter Bible. Leviticus, was it 21 and 5? It says, Leviticus 21:5, it says, they shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. So cuttings in your flesh, you never notice when you using a razor, really you're making minor abrasions within the skin. It's still a cut. Okay? So this word, baldness, okay? We're going to go to it. Baldness. All right? Korka. All right, korka, okay? It says baldness, bald, all right? Baldness, bald, that's all it means. Baldness, bald, to be bald, okay? Neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, okay? Well, hold up, we got to go back, okay? Because we got to go and get the word shave. And I think it goes off on it, I can't remember. We'll have to see. There's a difference between, you know, trimming and shaving. Now I think it does go off because I think it says, oh, you can't cut your hair. So if you cut your hair, how are you gonna? And in scriptures later it says, you shall not suffer your locks to grow long, your hair to grow long. How are you gonna stop that if you don't cut your hair? So that shows you that they went off with that. Let me see if they fixed it. Shave off. It goes back to the word galah. Okay, let me go and see. Galah. So it says to shave off. All right. Now, yeah, that's where it went off. It says to pull. Okay. What does it mean? What does it mean to pull your hair? To cut or trim it. All right. Often referring to a close cut. Wrong. Okay. Wrong. Clip, cut, or shave. Okay. Particularly the ends. So it's going off by saying to pull. Okay, so that's why you gotta know the context of the Bible, because the blue letter Bible goes off. You'll hear the apostles talk about it a lot. It means to shave off. It doesn't mean to pull. Pull can mean many different things, but pull really means to trim. All right, to cut. Okay, it can mean in some contexts to be made bald, but it's not meaning that in this context. Okay. So they shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. Okay, so they're not supposed to make any cuttings in their flesh. Who is they? The Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, us under the law. Okay, we're not, and you can say we're not under the law. Yeah, but we're still bound by the law. The law is still given to us, and it even says, if you love me, keep my commandments. All right, and the scriptures also say, because we're not under the law, shall we sin because we're not under the law, but under grace? Yahweh forbid. Okay, we're not supposed to be doing that. We're still supposed to keep it to the best of our ability. All right, we're just not delivered by the law. Okay, by grace ye saved, and not of works, lest any man should boast. Another scripture, right? So we can trim. All right, we can cut. All right, we can even use a buzzer. All right, as long as it's got a guard on it. All right, you just can't take that to your face and make it to where there's no hair there and you're smooth skinned. Okay, you can't do that. That's going off. Okay, so it's pretty plain and simple. All right, but there's always people that try to fight it or buck up against it. But you can take, let me get it. Leviticus 30 and 14. I can't talk and do it at the same time. I've always had trouble with that. But you can't take it and make you bald upon your head. You can't go chrome dome. Okay, if after you're done, trimming, you should be able to take some Brute and slap it on yourself and not have a burn, right? Because when you have that burn, why is that? That's because there's open cuts. All right, I don't even have no Brute. I don't even have no what is that shit? Aquaphor, not Aquaphor. What is that shit? Aqua, some shit. I can't remember the. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody's daddy's had it in his cupboard. All right, the blue shit smells good. Or Old Spice, same shit you slap down on your neck. You should be able to take that, spritz yourself down with alcohol, and not have a single bit of pain. Okay? Because the only time it burns is if you've nicked yourself, and you shouldn't be nicking yourself unless you were making cuttings in the flesh and making baldness upon yourself. Right? If I don't even have none around. Right? I don't even have none of that around because there's not. They use that stuff is used to disinfect cuts. That's why you slap that alcohol on your neck after. All right, to disinfect so he doesn't get infected or have anything to get around that area. You should be able to put that stuff on you and not get a burn. That's how you know if you're going off or not. Is it too short? I don't know. Slap that shit. Get you a bottle and check. If this is a new haircut. It's pretty slim. Go. It's like $3. Go and get that shit. Slap it on top. Does it burn? All right. It might irritate your scalp a little bit, but you know what it feels like when you burn. If you remember what it's like when you shave. That shit stings. Like like if you have a cut on your hand, you put some alcohol on it. You're gonna know that feeling. It's a sting. All right, it might irritate and get a little warm. All right, but I'm talking if it stings, that means you done cut yourself somewhere up there. All right, so and if it was low, that's one of two things. You either buzzed it without a guard, or you had a malfunction. It ripped some hair out or some shit. Right? You either went off, or your guard's fucked up, or the razor. You done did something, all right? So you need to try it with another razor. Get something that's more better. For like $60, you can go on Amazon. You can get you a pretty good one. It's like green. Looks like it's got splatters all over it. That's the one I got, all right? You can use it on your beard and your head, all right? As long as it's got a guard. I've used it on my... Well, I didn't use that one. I actually had a beard trimmer that had guards on it. You can go to certain lengths and stuff. I do it for under trim so my beard don't look wild, because unfortunately I'm not blessed like some brothers that have like a fuller beard. My stuff kind of looks like a Somalian pirate. I look like I am the captain now, right? It's crazy, but so I try to keep it clean. If you're blessed with having a big bushy beard, hey man, rock it, man. If I had a big bushy beard, man, I would rock it. Unfortunately, I don't. So Leviticus 13-40, this is for those, I'm going bald. There's other brothers in this truth that have gone bald. So it says, and the man whose hair is fallen off his head, he is bald, yet he is clean. All right, he's not gone off. All right, because it really talks about like lepers. Because a leper, all right, you lose your hair. All right, you would be unclean. But if your hair fell off your head, you're like a clean leper. Your hair has become bald. Okay, I think you can see it right here in the verse up. It talks about people that are getting sick. Okay, we can continue on in verse 41, and it says, and he that hath his hair fallen off from part of his head towards his face, he is forehead bald, yet he is clean. So you're not a leper. You just had it happen to you, man. You had it happen to you. Sometimes it's genetic. It random. Sometimes you might have used some bad hair products in the past. You use some of that Easy Curl or Blue Magic, or putting some crazy shit up on your head. Relaxer or whatever, or you might have used other shit in your hair, bad shampoos, all right, back in the day, filled with chemicals, and they might have fucked you up, all right, but that don't mean you're unclean, that don't mean you're, bad or anything like that. It's just, your hair fall off, you're still ritualistically clean, all right, but you're just bald, all right, because it fell off, all right, you didn't shave it, all right, you didn't have a disease that made it come off, really, I mean, male alopecia isn't really, you could consider it a disease, but it's not really a disease. It technically is a disease, but it's a clean one. The disease is that you're producing too much testosterone that's being turned into what is it? It's not BHT, DTA, dihydrogen testosterone, or something like that. Something like those, right? There's a name for it. You can look it up. But you produce too much testosterone. That's why it happens with Jake a lot. All right, you see a lot of old bald Jake men because too much testosterone. Okay, you're not. It's a miss level of testosterone. If you ever, they say, oh, bald people are always nice. Every bald person I've ever met, or people that's going bald, and I can speak for myself because I'm going bald. We always have kind of a temper. All right, I don't know about you, but every bald person I've ever met, they're nice, but man, they got a temper on them, man. All right, we're friendly until you say something. Then we get hot, man. We get real hot, hard to calm down hot, okay? My boss was saying some fuck shit, or I had to take several hours. He fucked up my day. I had to take several hours to calm down. Cursed his ass and moved on, man. That's because of all that excess testosterone, right? You gotta watch it, because testosterone having you acting out of pocket sometimes, all right? You gotta manage your levels of testosterone, so... make sure you got a good diet and stuff, and try to, maybe I need to incorporate some stuff that has less testosterone, or maybe it has some estrogen in it or something I could use. You shouldn't have estrogen as a man, but if you have too much testosterone, you gotta have something to equal it out. So for a long time I avoided shit like soy, shit with like tofu. All right, because it has too much estrogen, but shit, maybe I need to eat some soybeans and some tofu, shit, right? So, because if you have too much testosterone, it can fuck with your heart, it can fuck with your emotions, make you angry, and it can make you bald. So, it can fuck with your prostate too. All right, so you fuck around and get an inflamed prostate, and you don't want to have to go to the doctor and then I gotta stick my finger. You ain't sticking your finger nowhere, right? You don't want to have to go through any of that. So, So yeah, if you went bald, you're not going off. All right, you just what can you do? All right, you can't really do anything about it. So let's get Ezekiel 44:20. Ezekiel 44:20. It's more so talking about the long hair now, right? So it says in Ezekiel 44:20, it's really a transitional scripture, which we're talking about right now. It says, "Neither shall they shave their heads." Can't shave your head bald. Can you use a buzzer? Yes, it has to have a guard. It has to have a guard. Can you use a straight razor? No. Okay. Can you shave yourself with a knife? No. Okay. Can you burn your shit off? No. They do that in Arabic countries. You'll see them burn the hair off. You can't do that either. You can't make it go away. You can make it very, 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 very short. You cannot make it go away. Same for your head, same for your beard. Ideally, I'd try not to trim your beard so low where it looks like it goes away. With your head, it's a little bit different. If you're patchy in your hair, if you're patchy with your beard and it looks really bad, you can do it. But I mean, if you have a beard, rock it, man. Rock that beard. All right, if it's just a little small one, keep it. If it doesn't look great, grown out and it looks, all crazy, because I've grown a long beard, I can't do it. It looks like shit. All right, it looks like shit. My wife used to be like, "Oh, I like your long beard." I had to show her some pictures. She was like, "Ugh." I was like, "Yeah, it does this weird thing where it only grows in one area. It'll be like this one strip at the bottom, and it kind of curls up. It looks horrendous, man. I look like I'm a Mennonite or something. Like I'm a weird. It looks awful. But I have a very patchy beard. It grows in areas and it grows not in areas. It grows better on my right side than my left side. The underside, it has weird spidiness with growing. I don't know. It's weird. It's just how the way it is. I've tried to use beard oils and stuff, and I guess it's gotten maybe a little bit thicker, but it's just not really, really dark. I think my dad said it was kind of like that for him for a long time until he got older. But he says he doesn't really know how it grows because he's always kept a clean face because he was in the military. And, he's out in the world. He ain't gonna get it. But yeah, man, if you got that genetics, patchy, So unfortunately, got to keep it trimmed so it looks presentable. You don't want to look like a bum. You want to look presentable as well. Okay, so if you have it, long, but it's just one single strand, and it looks wild. I mean, maybe keep it shorter, right? Maybe keep it shorter. I'm not gonna give you any advice, but I mean, look at yourself. Does it look crazy? Try to make yourself look presentable without going off, right? If you have to keep it small for work, keep it small. If you're allowed to let it grow out and it looks great, keep it grown out. Like I said, if I could grow a Duck Dynasty beard, man, I've seen those guys they wear blazers and suits, or you see the old Jake men that do it, man. I think it looks smooth as hell, man. Like I'm a big up Elder Menatazatba, all right. And Apostle Tahar. A lot of the apostles, they got some excellent beards, man. I wish my beard could grow like that. All right, they got clean, nice beard, salt and pepper beard too. Look at smooth, man. Look at smooth. Pull it out. My beard don't grow like that, man. My beard grow crazy. I don't know. It's like a fucking bush. All right, like a bush in fall, like when all the leaves are falling. It's like a boneless ass beard. But I'm blessed to be able to even grow one at all, man. So call all Yahweh Bashem Meow Shy. But I like those smooth, classic beards. They look good, but I don't have it. So Ezekiel 44:20 says, "Neither shall they shave their heads, nor suffer their locks to grow." See, this is lock. All right, a lock of hair. That don't mean a dreadlock. All right, Goldilocks. Did she have dreadlocks? No, she had locks of hair. That's the word that they use back now. It says lock. Yeah, but it says Locks, not LOC. Okay, it's talking about locks of hair, not dreadlocks. Okay, so anyway. Nor suffer their locks to grow long. They shall only pull their heads. Now wait, it says pull means you can't pull your hair. Remember that scripture? It said it just then. All right, that proves that the Blue Letter Bible is going on. It says you can't pull your head. Yes, you can. It says right here, they shall only pull their head. You can trim your head. You can cut your hair. You cannot buzz your hair. As in, we say a buzz cut or buzzing it off. When we say buzz off, that I had to buzz my head. That don't mean buzzing it off. All right, it's referring to like a buzz cut, very short. All right, but not bald. All right, I shaved my head. All right, if you ever hear me say, "Oh, I shaved my head," it don't mean I shaved my head bald. I shaved it down. Shaved ain't technically the right word to use, but it's used as slang. Oh yeah, I shaved my head. All right, because we shaved most of the hair off, but there's still some, right? So it goes on. It says, "Nor suffer their locks to grow long." So you can't have long hair either, as we're gonna prove in 1 Corinthians 11:14. Okay, which reads, "Doth not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him?" So go and read the story of Absalom. All right, type in the story of Absalom. All right, maybe I'll let it be a bonus in one of these days. Maybe I'll throw it as a bonus in the next coming days if the Spirit's on me, right? But go and read the story of Absalom, right? Go and read the story of Absalom, and see how that worked. Go and see how that worked, okay? Or Samson. Samson had long hair, and look how he ended up crashing out because that lady cut his hair, right? You don't want to have long hair. It's effeminate, all right? It's a feminine thing to do. And the scriptures talks about, nor effeminate, nor abusers themselves with mankind shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. So that's a feminine thing you have, long hair. There's a guy at my job. He's a cool guy. I'll call him the homeboy, right? I talk about him a lot here, all right, because he's one of the few people in the world that I mess with, because I don't really have no friends. I'd consider them likened unto a friend. Like the Apostle Har says, when you first come to the truth, you cut everybody off. I want no Edomites and no worldly Jakes around me. He says, a couple years ago, he's like, I like that Edomite guy, right? And not you can't really be friends with them, but you can be acquaintances. It's easier to be friends with a worldly Jake than it is an Edomite, because an Edomite, they're always looking to scheme and scam. But Jake, they don't really have that in their heart. They can, all right. You have the YNs and stuff, they can, but they're not as they have to have a reason. Usually, you done did something that they don't trust you or something. With Esau, they'll just do it for fun. They'll just throw you under the bus for some fun, because they just can't help it, right? They're just some Edomites. They can't help it. They got to do it. But I talk about him and the old guy, the old bald guy, and I talk about the dreadlock guy. And they're cool dudes, right? They're lost. They're gone. The dreadlock guy actually has is more close to understanding what the truth is, but he still don't get it. Close. They have that saying, close but no cigar. All right, and it's wicked to smoke. You shouldn't be smoking. But the saying is like, close but no cigar. People in the world, they use cigars to celebrate. All right, close but no celebration. All right, close but no cigar. Close but we ain't partying. Right? Because close ain't nobody ever been like going down in the Hall of Fame because they were close. All right. Oh my gosh, he was almost the man that jumped the highest in the world. Almost don't mean nothing. All right. Almost don't mean a damn thing. Okay. So he's effeminate, man. I said, man, you cut those. You probably look good. I ain't cutting them. I never cut my hair. My hair have to fall off for me to get another haircut. And guess what? The Lord's doing it to him. He's starting to bald in the back of his head, man. Starting to get thin and thin and thin and thin and thin. All right, he said, yeah, if they fall out, I'm going to have a short haircut. Lord willing, I hope that I'm going to put a minor curse on you, man. Not about your health or your death or anything, but I hope the Lord makes those dreadlocks fall out so you have to have a normal haircut. Babu Shah, man, look ridiculous. You look much better with a normal haircut. He would. If you see this guy, he'd look better with a normal haircut. The dreads don't fit him, man. He even says that the dreads he has, they call him pretty boy dread, because they're all thin, and he's so effeminate with his hair. He's touching them and keeping it. I had to wrap my hair up again, man. It's ridiculous. All right? It's ridiculous. So, but anyway, 1 Corinthians 11:4, doth not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame on him. You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed. You really should be ashamed to have hair as long, man. You're looking like a female. Why do you want to look like a female? You might as well just go ahead and grow some titties and paint your nails while you're at it, man. You might as well, because from behind, you look like a bitch. All right? Straight up. Well, you saying it to my face. Nah, I'm not going to say it to your face, because you're effeminate and you might just shoot me over it. I know you're effeminate. Effeminate women act rashly and impulsively. All right, and you're already acting like a woman with those long ass hairs and being effeminate. So you might just fade my ass. All right, I ain't trying to get faded out because I tried to help you. Nah, man, just do what you do then. Right, most High will deal with you. Right, so that's it about hair and beards, man. So you're not supposed to be taking a razor to your hair, or to your beard, or to your eyebrows, or to your mustache. All right, you can use the buzzer as long as it's got a guard. All right, even if it's a very, very small guard, it don't matter. You can take it to your hair, take it to your beard. I'd be mindful with your beard, not try to make it as small as you can just on purpose, just to do it. But if you got to do it for a job, I mean, at least you're doing it in the most lawful ways you possibly can. You're not going off by, making baldness upon it. All right, but if they say you got to cut it off, I would leave the job personally. I would. Okay, I would leave. I know we can't, be over righteous and think that we can keep all the law. I know we're under grace, but I'm not going to do it. I know there's been talk in the past where they said if you got to do it for a job, that's one thing, not to lose your job. But a lot of brothers said, yeah, for a job, that's one thing. If you have to shave, you'll hear the brothers say, personally, I would leave. They all say, personally, I would leave. All right. So yeah, you don't have to be so overrighteous. I'm never going to. I mean, to the point where the Lord's going to kill me if I do it. I mean, it's a good way to think. But at the end of the day, I mean, if, like I said, all the brothers that I've ever heard, and me personally, I'd say just try to get another job. All right, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it. All right, and sure, we're on the Lord's mercy, and He knows that you didn't want to do it, but I still wouldn't personally shave my beard. All right, personally, I wouldn't. But that's me and a whole bunch of other brothers. We wouldn't do it. All right, we like our beards. We don't want to have it just nothing. So personally, I wouldn't. But use your discernment through Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We are under grace, but I personally wouldn't. That's a step too far for me. So that's what we've talked about today with the 7 more essentials for new believers of the truth. That's dealing with beards and haircuts. Of course, if you have any questions, all right, drop them down below. Of course, you women can have long hair. A man cannot have long hair. Okay? So, but yeah, man. And by the way, if you're a woman and you're growing a beard, that is a law that applies to men, mind you. Okay? That's a law that's applying to men. Beards is talking about men. If you're growing a mustache as a woman, you might want to wax that off. All right? That's not a law that's not a law for women. I just want to put that there because I've heard in the past, women be like, well, I'm growing. That's a law for men. All right, but you still shouldn't be buzzing into your shit either when it's talking about edge ups. You don't need to have a butt as a woman, a edge up. No, that's still going off because no, don't do that. But that is a law that's applying to men. Plus, a woman with an edge up, that's ridiculous. That's some stud shit. But anyway, the no beards, that's for men. All right, if you somehow grow a beard as a woman, then yeah, you might want to go ahead and get rid of that. And I've heard brothers say it, so Lord, I know I'm not off saying it. Other brothers, you might want to go ahead and get rid of that. I'm sure your man don't want you to have no beard. Feeling y'all's whiskers touching. No, y'all don't want that. So that's a law that's for men about growing a beard, right? But yeah, so that's where our close out. Lord, what was edifying again? If you men have any questions, drop them down below. And I say men because this is mostly beards and haircuts, with men. All right, you can of course have long hair as a woman. But that's where we're going to close out. Lord and will was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing, shalom.